How's everybody feeling? How's everybody feeling? Let me make sure my sound is tight and right. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Okay, we good. I can't be up here sounding like a person in witness protection. You know what I'm saying? So once again, welcome. You are tuned in to the beatzillapdx official show. I am the host, beatzillapdx officially. And of course, you can follow this program. Please like and subscribe to this channel. We are almost at our first 100 subscribers. So we're just trying to push it. Good. I'm glad. Good. Trying to get this thing and get it over the hump, over that 100 hump, 100 subscribers. So by all means, please like and share. And interesting day. Actually, it's been an interesting week. We have come to see a whole wave of things come at us here. Like, for instance, the Haitian president being assassinated. They have now said that they have arrested somebody in connection to that. We'll see how that pans out. If that's not something, just a what they call pansy or fall guy, shall we say? So let's see who we got in here. Miss Yella Hargrave, peace. Silent D in the house. Queen Idea in the house. Judah Queen in the house. Welcome, everybody. All right. Oh, and Desmond. Then we got Desmond Works. All right. They should be arresting themselves. I know that's right. So here's something that, you have situations like we've seen like this before, with Muammar Gaddafi, Egypt, Iran. It just didn't, it fit, the attempt didn't work in Iran. Afghanistan, we've seen this thing before. We just haven't seen something so severely sloppy. So it's like, well, what was the rush? Because this thing looks kind of rushed. They're saying that this guy from America has something to do with it. Flew down there on a private plane. Who knows? But take that with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? So let's see what the news is saying about this man, who they are saying is the, I guess, mastermind behind this thing here. So let me show you the picture of these guys before I do that. So you see these guys on the screen. Those are the assassins. Somebody had a lot of money to pay for these guys to be there. That is not a cheap thing right there that you're looking at. So just keep that in mind when they're saying that this dude had to be severely rich to be able to pull this off with money you could play with. So let's bring this up to the screen. There we go.
Police in Haiti say a doctor based in Florida was one of the masterminds behind the assassination of Haiti's president. Haitian investigators claim this man hired a team of mercenaries who allegedly gunned down the president at his home last Wednesday in the middle of the night. Haitian officials say he wanted to seize power and become president himself. A college professor who met the doctor told the New York Times that he claimed to be on a mission from God. But his arrest is raising some major questions. The Miami Herald newspaper reports it's unclear exactly how the doctor could have possibly afforded to pay for all of those mercenaries, many of them ex-soldiers from Colombia, who say they were being paid $3,000 a month. Meantime, a team of U.S. investigators is now on the ground in Haiti to try to help with the investigation. The White House says the American delegation briefed President Biden today after meeting with leaders of Haiti.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC.
Hey. Okay, so what do y'all think about that? Yes, Fall Guys. These are the Fall Guys. The real assassins are not present in that lineup, right? Because another thing that they had mentioned is that one of the people that went into the house, they said they were there to arrest, not kill. And they said that one of them came out talking about how the man was already dead inside. Jason Black, the Black Authority, did a program on that. Great broadcast breaking that down. And also, you should see Professor Black Truth as well, breaking that whole thing down. But the one thing I wanted to point out is, we like I've just said, we've seen this type of thing before, so we know when our government has its hands on something. America was cool with the Taliban. Basically, they are using these international pawns like they do their coons. So when you have fulfilled your use, well, then dead men tell no tales. Now look at something else. Something else that I wanted to point out. Let me pull this up real quick, because I wanted to again go into something that we've brought up before, and that's about propaganda and how propaganda is used. Yes, definitely. You need to check Professor Truth's video on this also, because it's like false flags. What do you say? False flag and hide your hands or throw the rock or something like that. But something that they use as a tool, and we've been seeing it. We've been saying that they've been using it. Well, they get out there early because they were already out there talking about how the people in Haiti are tired of the president. Now, a few months ago, it was said that the president of Haiti was refusing to have the jab there, and then that's what the news reported. So I mean, that's not hearsay or anything like that. That is actually a news report. However, seeing how that goes against people's financial interest, I'm talking about the money. I'm not talking. I'm no doctor, but I definitely dealt in finance, so I can tell you how money works. So, with this being said, another part that they spend a lot of money on, listening while driving. Okay, right on silent D. Propaganda. And let me give you this definition from Britannica.com. Let's see. Propaganda. Dissemination of information, facts, arguments, rumors, half-truths, or lies to influence public opinion. Let me see. Go on. Propaganda is the more or less systematic effort to manipulate other people's beliefs, attitude, or actions by means of symbols, words, gestures, banners, monuments, music, clothing, insignia, hairstyles, designs on coins and postage stamps, and so forth. Good Lord. Now, do you hear what I'm saying here? So this is how propaganda is used. Can we say that we have seen this propaganda used on us recently, as of late? You know what I'm saying? It just seems to me. Oh, that's not. Let me use that one. There we go. It's a huge thing about, especially right now. What are we talking about? They have somewhat shifted from the talk of critical race theory right back to this voter suppression stuff. Because now we're talking about the right to vote. Well, excuse me. When we get talking about the right to vote, well, we've seen people just waste a vote. So I get, voter suppression. I just don't understand its value if you're not going to use your vote wisely. Now, had these people, if I seen the same people that voted for Joe Biden actually calling for Joe Biden to do something for him now, maybe I could dig what they're talking about. But, we see how quiet they are now, and they just don't want to participate. You know what I mean? I'll take these off real quick. Now, let me go on ahead and finish reading a little more of this. Let's see. Deliberateness and relatively heavy emphasis on manipulation distinguishes propaganda from casual conversation or the free and easy exchange of ideas. Propagandists have a special goal or set of goals. To achieve these, they deliberately select facts, arguments, and displays of symbols and present them in a way that they think will have the most effect. To maximize effect, they may omit or distort pertinent facts or simply lie. And they may try to divert attention of the reactors, the people who they are trying to sway, from everything but their own propaganda. Fitting. Oh, Yella Aket. Welcome. Peace, sister. Wow. So again, understanding propaganda. Propaganda works on multiple levels, from the top all the way down to the bottom to someone who is just trying to get close to you to con you. You know what I mean? Remember I did a broadcast not too long ago about grassroots COINTELPRO tactics? I might play a little bit of that broadcast in this broadcast if I have enough time. We'll see. We will see. But I just find it funny that I did this. I wanted to go see the date of that video. It was 3 months ago. Sometimes you're early, and sometimes you just hope you're wrong about certain things, and then sometimes, hey, it just is what it is. All right. So, with this being said, they go and start propaganda early on their targets. So they start a smear campaign, and just to put this on your mind for what's coming down the pike, let's be clear on what we just saw happen in Haiti. There's an assassination attempt. It's a bunch of confusion around the particulars of the story. The people of Haiti, well, man, they were tired of this guy. So basically, no harm, no foul. Let's go send American troops in there. Let's let America go be part and now start putting their stamp, putting their stamp back in Haiti. Queen Adia says, propaganda. Yes, there you go. Committee of Cardinals in charge of foreign missions in the Catholic Church. Short. Ooh, okay. Well, and that's great because, if anybody understands about how the UN works and the papal powers that can be deferred to the Pope, it's probably why you see none of his people actually going to prison. You know what I'm saying? You don't see many of them going to prison now, do you? Now, with this, seeing how they can use propaganda to smear, start swaying everybody's mind, you start thinking one way, and really it's because they understand psychological warfare. They understand spiritual warfare, and they fight you and combat you every day with both. Now, with that being said, like I said, because, okay, we start looking at patterns. I mean, I could just say it's not a conspiracy. You see the pattern. We know what we see. So I remember when Hugo Chavez went and did his, I think this was 2012, he did his speech in the UN summit and had so not particular nice things to say about Barack Obama. Also, Muammar Gaddafi had something negative to say about Obama because he was aiding the powers that be as a fellow brother, as he called him, a fellow African brother. aiding these people to destroy his own homeland and control it. He wasn't with that. Guess he didn't have the right to not be with that. As we've seen so many of these other leaders. Now, here's something else. Somebody says, okay, here's a fact. Somebody says, well, these leaders rejected these companies' product. I'll put it to you like that because that's what it is. I'm talking business. This country doesn't want your product in its borders. Period. What happens next? Mysteriously, that person dies. One can definitely look at the timing, and any critical thinker should be able to say, well, hey, something's awry. Something sounds a little bit off. I mean, I'm not even calling that a conspiracy. I'm just looking at a time frame. So if I was in the court of law and I was on your jury, and this type of evidence came and it would save you, I think you would want me to think of it critically, wouldn't you? Just keeping it a buck. So, with that being said, this next clip I'm going to play is just something that I would say keep an eye on. Because you just got rid of one. Why not take care of the other?
On Monday, blamed the historic protests that took place from Havana to Santiago over the weekend on the U.S. embargo with the Caribbean island nation. Thousands chanted freedom and called on President Miguel Diaz-Canel to step down in the biggest anti-government demonstrations on the communist-run island in decades. From the White House, U.S. President Joe Biden on Monday threw his support behind the protesters.
The United States stands firmly with the people of Cuba.
Of course it is.
As they assert their universal rights. And we call on the government of Cuba to refrain from violence or attempts to silence the voice of the people of Cuba.
At the same time, Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel attacked what he called Washington's hypocrisy for expressing concern when it was fueling the crisis in Cuba with its trade embargo.
Is it not very hypocritical and cynical that you block me and you want to present yourself as the big savior? Lift the blockade and then we'll see what Cubans are capable of.
The United States had tightened sanctions on Cuba under Trump, Biden's predecessor, including restricting crucial remittances in the middle of the global health crisis. Biden campaigned on easing sanctions but has yet to do so. Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador backed Cuba, saying the U.S. economic embargo should be ended. The protests erupted amid Cuba's deepest economic crisis since the fall of the Soviet Union and a surge in infections that has pushed some hospitals to the edge of collapse in a country that prides itself on its healthcare system.
Well, and that's also universal health care over there as well. And they're testing out a new treatment or cure for this pandemic situation. Now I'm certain that won't be allowed into the States because now this part again, ending this embargo. Well, you already know how these people roll. This is about global white supremacy. So they don't want to open up the financial situation unless they can control it. So now you start eyeing Cuba. Well, let's see. How can we get over there? Two independent countries supposedly all of a sudden don't want to be independent anymore. Imagine that. Where does that idea come from? Y'all remember, what's that boy? Elian Gonzalez? And they was trying to keep him up here in America away from his father in Cuba. Talking about how better it was for him up here to be away from his own father. These people here. So with this being said, now do y'all understand the tie-in that I'm looking at? Here we go. This is the propaganda. So you're starting to you're witnessing people get ahead of the traditional media here. And so they're pushing back immediately, which in my opinion is the right thing to do. Because we know how these people get down. All they'll do, if you sit back and say nothing, they can paint you as any way they want you to look. And best believe that will never be in your best interest. You know what I mean? It'll never be in your best interest. So we always have to make sure we control the narrative. And I want y'all to pay attention to how they are stepping out in front of this to control their own narrative before America gets cut loose, lying as they normally do. You know? And yeah. So with that being said, let me play this video. And this is going to be for a few minutes, but I'll it's going to be very educational, understanding this tie-in. And so, you know, by all means, without further ado.
The president, you said be prepared because it will be coming to your shores, America, to your door, you said. And your advice to Obama was to remember the words you're making to other nations.
Well, today, our dear brother, you know, has to be very, very careful in this decision that he and his Secretary of State and Sarkozy and Prime Minister Cameron and others are planning. They would love to go into Libya and kill Brother Gaddafi and kill his children, as they did with Saddam Hussein and his sons Qusay and Uday. You must remember, dear people of America, that whenever government wants you to think and act in a certain way that would bring justification to an action that they are already planning to make, they must make the person that they hate a boogeyman. Now, nobody...
Now, check that. Now, did you catch that? Now, what I just played you? Check out what I just played. I mean, just think about that. They are targeting something. So what do they do as when they know what they're already targeting? They make him or it the boogeyman. Sounds like the black man, you know, the one big Negro, which also includes our sisters.
Wants civil war. It is the bloodiest of all kinds of wars because you're fighting your own brothers. You're fighting the people of your own language and culture and history. So in every nation, brothers and sisters, there is dissatisfaction. And what the CIA does is go into a country and move among the people that are dissatisfied to stimulate a revolt against a leader that they don't like because they want regime change. I want to be specific. When George W. Bush was president, he said they wanted regime change in Iran, in Korea. Regime change. How do you get regime change, honest America? How do you do that? Congress, the Congress of the United States, voted to spend $150 million to replace the government in Iran that America doesn't like. So they send their agents in to work among the, the dissatisfied. So when they had this election and the people in Iran rose up, they have legitimate grievances, all right, but stimulated from the outside. So President Obama didn't want to put his foot into that cage lest somebody say America inspired it, because it was America's policy to destabilize that government. Well, what about Libya?
Libya.
See, how much money is being spent to arm the so-called rebels? They're dissatisfied. Well, what is their dissatisfaction about? Do they have jobs? Yes. Do they have food? Yes. Has Gaddafi used the oil money to build Libya? Yes. Did Gaddafi use oil money and discover water under the Sahara Desert and brought that water to the surface and brought water from Benghazi all the way to the border almost of Tunisia? Did he impose farming in the desert so that they could feed their own people? Yes. Are there billions of dollars that he's spending building homes, building apartments for his people? Yes.
So do you hear what he's talking about? He is talking about absolute economic independence outside of the bar that they tell us we can aspire to. See, there's so many people amongst us that believe the bar is set by someone else. What he is describing is a person that believes they set their own bar. This is the mind state that we need to be getting into together on a collective. As this thing grows, people need to understand. And that's why we say the code. The code is the leader. You understand? And, I understand that's kind of a hard idea for people to follow because they've been so brainwashed into the Messiah mentality. I've said it before on this broadcast, and I'll say it today. Our unity is the Messiah. You understand? You can't wait for one person to be everything. Everybody has roles. You know what I'm saying? One body, one family, one nation, multiple tribes. So that gives you different lanes. You understand what I'm saying? Other people move that way. They all have different factions of one family. We can do that too. Let me go on a little. Let me skip ahead a little bit. Okay.
Occupation on their land. And when you make that kind of move, if you're not careful, you'll unite the Libyan people against you. And again, Gaddafi wasn't sitting in any tent twiddling his thumbs over these last 10 years. This man has been investing in African development. This man has been moving throughout Africa. This man has friends all over the world. He may not be your friend, but if you take him out and kill him like he's some rotten fella that wants to kill his own people, what did you do in Waco? What did you do when your people rose up? Did you talk them out of it? No, they had weapons, you bombed them. What did you do in Philadelphia with the movement? Did you talk them out of their home or did you bomb them? We didn't hear any outcry from you religious hypocrites that love the lives of human beings. You're a liar and a hypocrite. And I warn my brother, don't you let these wicked demons move you in a direction that will absolutely ruin your future with your people in Africa and throughout the world. They don't like the way you handle Mubarak. They don't like the way you're handling the situation in the Arab world. So I would advise you to be careful and move with wisdom and skill. My advice would be, why don't you organize a group of respected Americans and ask for a meeting with Gaddafi? You can't order him to step down and get out. Who the hell do you think you are? That you can talk to a man that built a country over 42 years and ask him step down and get out? Can anybody ask you? Well, there's a lot now going to ask you to step out of the White House because they don't want no black face in the White House. Be careful, brother, how you handle this situation because it is coming to America. It has already started. Look in Wisconsin. Look in Ohio. Look at what's going on in your country and remember your words because the American people are rising against their own government. It's not Muslims, it's not black people, it's white militia that are angry with their government and they are well armed. Are you going to tell them, put your arms down and let's talk it over peacefully?
They're trying.
I hope so. But if not, America will be bathed in blood, not because Farrakhan said so, but because the dissatisfaction in America has reached the boiling point. Be careful how you manipulate the dissatisfaction in Libya and other parts of the Muslim world.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, I'll say within the melanated world, because look at what's happening. Cuba, they doing it right now. They even bringing up colorism as far as the whole Cuban situation goes under these Castros. But I mean, let's understand the government before Castro came into power was no more friendly to the dark-skinned folks. Not only that, you know, under the Castros, black folks have gotten asylum. You know, people have dealt with the Castros. They donated money to the nation. You know, but see, this is the thing. When we have people like that and an entity like that controls their own, and they can also control what goes in. So, like right now, they're complaining about them shutting the media out because they basically shut out the Western media because we already know how they getting down. So like, no, you're not finna let your propaganda come over here and infect and poison our people with that garbage. Any ruler that is independent should definitely be worried about the people who never stay at home. What they want is, like I said, there's about to be a blonde white lady in Haiti jogging with her dog. It's coming. Yeah, it's coming. We're building a brand new resort right here on the beach in Haiti. You're going to have 4 seasons sitting right there on the beach of Haiti. And then really they want to get back on that money thing on Cuba. And see, here's also the other thing too, you know, like, well, hey, let's revisit them casinos in Cuba. If anybody is aware of that history, you know. So it again, I'm talking about it from a business standpoint. There's money to be made. Money to be made. And a lot of people don't understand that because they get so caught up in the emotional theatrics of crap. You know what I'm saying? Conscious Outlaw, what's up, my brother? Yes, sir. You know, they get so caught up in the theatrics of stuff, they don't really look at stuff critically. And we gotta pay attention. This place here, America, is known for invading people. I mean, you have a whole group of stolen people. There's a whole group of stolen people right here. Just put that in perspective. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they need these distractions. The police are currently suing. Oh Lord. Wow. Well, I'm not surprised. You know, I mean, this this stuff that they doing now, good grief. Conscious outlaw in the house. We need to know and understand and learn their games. And the one thing that they are not trying to do is get rid of white supremacy, because they already understand the order of the day is ending that. And this is, again, we got to understand white supremacy is global, and man, it's everywhere. They are protecting their interests across the world right now. And I've told some people, in private conversations, you're sitting going in and out. We've had private conversations about this Haiti thing. I believe there's some maybe a spiritual fear of the Haiti, kind of connecting with some like-minded people, for those who are like-minded. Because remember, they had two different kinds of people out there in 1804. There were the ones who wanted to stay, and they got rid of them first. So always keep this in mind. I want to play a little clip of the elder here. Check this out.
Everyone, when they talk about racism and white supremacy, should always start by saying that the focus, the objective should be replace white supremacy with justice. Those are the 5 basic words.
Real simply put. Now, let me see. Let me pull this other thing up here. So, like I said before, propaganda, it works on multiple levels. So watching a president get assassinated, that's definitely that is a leader of a country. So that is huge. At the same time, it goes down to multiple levels, because one of the main reasons is, again, they don't want us to be in any position of unity. That is the last thing they want for us, especially those of us who are on code and thinking clearly, seeing things clearly. They don't want us together. That's terrifying for them. That is literally the last thing they want to happen. Let's go. Trying to find this video here. No. Wait, go here. So I would keep a close eye on Cuba, because I think Cuba is in the sights. Well, clearly they are, because the propaganda is already starting. I'm really interested to see what this dude has to say. Oh no, wrong one. That they're claiming is the mastermind behind this thing. I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know about that. Okay, so let me pause that. Let me share this screen. All right, get in here. Share. There we go. All right, can y'all see that? Yes, you can. All right. So let me play a little bit of this. Let me go back here. And, just for some of y'all can understand where I'm going with this. Number one, I don't give a damn about what you're talking about. I'm not East. Well, you're going to be working for a long time trying to find something to shame me on, man. I stand on what I say. I don't give a damn about what you feel about it. Why would I? What happened? I'm a grown man. But that's just it. They want to take that energy away. They don't want you to stand for something right. They want you to stand for everything wicked. Stand for everything that doesn't even benefit your own damn community. But, hey, we can't get nobody to stand with us to get reparations. You got these black folk out here talking about stop Asian hate. You need to be slapped. Get your money right. Respect your ancestors. Show some love to the people who sat up here and had to live through generations of chattel slavery. Why are we talking about any other group? All of them came here knowing that they are living the dream based on the backs of slaves. So I want to make a point there, and I just want to say something. People who look to circumvent the conversation, because I look at it like this. I talk about white supremacy quite a bit. And I don't spend a lot of time talking about other black folk because I don't really see the productivity in that, unless, you know, I mean, it's cool for clicks and views, but will it really be edifying? You know what I mean? I don't think so. The whole beefing on the internet deal, that's played. Because again, this is about the people. We are speaking the truth for the people. We are not speaking the truth for propaganda's sake. We are not speaking the truth to be an infiltrator to sit up there and get into something or close to people to tear them down. But I do want y'all to be aware of this and definitely understand. As we are building and building and building, you gotta go with the mindset that this is valuable. This is important because they're gonna show you. You don't want to find out the hard way. You know what I mean? Be like, oh, ain't nobody paying attention to us because we ain't getting the corporate sponsoring and all of this. No, that ain't it. That's not how power works. Just like as Jason Black always says, power is taken, not given. And what we're doing, setting our own narrative, pushing our own narrative, is just that. Naming ourselves, taking our own identity. You don't classify me. We will classify ourselves. That is power. Understanding even the direction we need to go. Establishing a code that does not involve outsiders. There we go. Now, this damn leaf blower is probably going to be sitting out this window for the rest of this broadcast. This is crazy. But, you know, hey, this is one of their typical days of doing their landscaping. But you know what's weird? My walkway has no leaves. So what the heck is he blowing? But anyway, like I was saying, always be mindful of the people who want to get part of something, because again, people have different reasons for wanting to be part of things. Some people want to be part of things because they're looking for something good, something strong, something new. You hear him? I mean, he's literally just right down here, just and there's nothing but rocks down there. What are you blowing, bro? What are you blowing? Now it never fails. I mean, like every week this happens. That's why you never know when they're going to show up. If they've shown up on odd days. Since I've started my broadcast, there's been nonstop construction around here. So I mean, when I started my podcast first, right? And I mean, from there, they started, we're going to tear down this whole walkway down here. And we're going to have to build up this whole new staircase, just nonstop. It makes you wonder, Silent D. Is that a bug? What? No. That's one of them big old air leaf blowers. Good grief. And all he's doing is just blowing dust around. So let me, I found this other little clip. of this brother. I'll play this real quick before I get out of here. Because again, I y'all see how things are playing out, in this whole Haiti situation. I hope y'all understand. I don't believe we're gonna really get a solid answer. They got this dude arrested. Good luck if he makes trial. I don't see it happening. So let me play this real quick.
This is the largest, mass killing in U.S. history. It's like, no, it actually is. That's not true. There were several mob attacks. I mean, can you go over how egregious this was?
Well, first of all, you need to realize that lynchings, which is generally speaking the execution of black men and women without due process of law, usually hanging them from a tree or burning them at the stake, and then cutting off the digits. Oftentimes, I'm afraid to say that in certain white homes to this day, you can find pickled digits of black men and black women. You need to realize that these were like picnics. You can still find postcards of masses of whites watching as some black person is burned at the stake or swinging from a tree. It's like an exercise in white solidarity. You'll see in 1957, when there was an attempt to desegregate the schools of Little Rock, Arkansas, there was a mass white revolt against that. In the 1960s, when there was an attempt to desegregate the University of Mississippi at Oxford, a mass white revolt. 1970s, to show it's not a regional phenomenon, when you had the busing crisis in Boston, that is to say, an attempt to desegregate the public schools. In Boston, there was a mass white revolt. 1980s in Yonkers, when there was an attempt to desegregate housing in this New York City suburb, there was a mass white revolt. It's political persecution. That is to say, it's political persecution because we, my ancestors, fought against the creation of the United States, fought against the idea of a white man's country. And so the idea was we should be punished and pulverized and persecuted forevermore. We were able to push back slavery, and then they slapped apartheid on us. And now we have a kind of neo-apartheid, because part of the complaint right now, as you probably heard, is that there are too many unqualified Negroes in universities and colleges. And so there needs to be a systematic effort and campaign to root them out. And that's underway as we speak. But once again, I think that this kind of persecution is not accidental. It comes out of a particular political and historical context that has really never been grappled with honestly, even by some of our friends on the left.
And ain't that the truth? Never been dealt with. And they don't want to deal with it. And if you see right now, that's why I think a lot of them are just using the argument against critical race theory, just to basically not talk about it. It helps to go to the rewriting of and whitewashing of our history, especially here in America. So, I'm not surprised. So, because, again, we're always looking at two wings of the same bird, controlling both sides of the argument. Propaganda works great. You understand? What it doesn't, where it fails is it fails when awareness hits. So right now you're seeing it just ramp up and ramp up and ramp up. And a lot of people will get caught up in this. A lot of people will get caught up in this. You have to be prepared to deal with that though, because not everybody's going to be at the place you're at. You have to be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody's going to be able to go where you can go. It's just, for instance, look at it like this. If you went to a particular university and got your doctorate, and then you're dealing with somebody who is, say, not even a high school graduate, you're not going to be, that person is not going to be able to enter into the same field of business. So, because they're not equipped. So with that being said, you're not going to see many doctors hanging out with a bunch of nail drivers. Not to say that driving nails is a bad thing, but you don't really see that. That's not the company that keep it on the golf course. They're talking different money deals. So with that also being said, that means that you better remember people have private and public interests, usually private, monetary interests in destabilizing something like a country, a movement, personality, shoot, even one's own family for that matter, because that type of negativity will travel. And again, you just got to know where it comes from. You got to know the devil when you see it. Lesson of the day. Oh, Lord. Oh, man. Integrity goes a long, 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 long way. But lack of it, you might not even last 3 months. I told somebody, like I said in my last broadcast, I show up early. B1 Beauty Supply. Yes, indeed. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, so again, just wanted to touch on this. And I know I didn't do any broadcasts last week because I was kind of feeling under the weather. And not anything related to that thing going around. However, I will be doing a couple more broadcasts this week. I was going to do 2 today, but I didn't think I would have enough time. So I'll probably be doing one tomorrow and then Thursday, and then All Real Truth at some point this week. Also, go to Patreon and start following me there because there's some things I want to do, some shows I want to do, and I just need a different platform to where I can do those. So follow me on Patreon. I'll be making all of that content free. So with that being said, this has been the Beatzilla PDX official show. Thank you for hanging out with me once again, Beatzilla PDX official. And you can follow me on Instagram, Beatzilla PDX. You can follow me at Twitter, Beatzilla PDX. You can follow me on Facebook at Beatzilla PDX. And on Melanated People, you can follow me at Michael Beatzilla Whitmore. If you have any questions, show ideas, or topics, you can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. That's ourrealtruth@gmail.com. In fact, let me put that down there. And if you feel so inclined to put some money up in the bucket, drop a donation for this platform, it's greatly appreciated. You can do so at CashApp, $BeatZillaPDX, at CashApp, $BeatZillaPDX. And with that being said, folks, you already know how we roll. Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. Let it fall and let us rise. And again, I really enjoy, I hope y'all enjoy this outro that I do, because I always want to put it in people's minds to rock with the stone of truth. You could do much worse. Don't fall for propaganda. But when you locate that infiltrator, you take that stone of truth and you knock out its little fraudulent brains. Well, we trimmed the fat a little bit this week. 2 down, hopefully not too many more to go. With that being said, shalom, y'all.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yes. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains.
every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.